and welcome to the Pagan Theologian. This is my very first video. I have finally figured out all this cool techie stuff that I'm doing here with the background and all of that. I love it. I kind of figured all of this out today because I've been really wanting to do videos, and I feel like I didn't really have a good space for it, just all the things, when it comes to making videos when, you're in your house and, you don't really want the whole world to see inside your house. You just want to kind of, find a nice space. But I worked it out, and I got this lovely little camo studio that's working out beautifully, and you can see how I have everything set up on the screen. The Pagan Theologian is the name of my school. I started this school a few months back. Initially, it was just kind of to experiment with it to see what Skool was all about. And being somebody who's deeply into Norse mythology, all of the mythologies, basically, everything to do with paganism, everything to do with witchcraft, everything to do with all of that, I wanted to create a school that teaches more about it. And this is actually, you can see right here on the screen, this is actually the school classroom. I'm actually able to show you, kind of go through. Tonight is the full buck moon. I wrote right about that. It's in Aquarius, opposite the sun in Leo, and I wrote a whole, thing here about it. When you go in the school, you can see all of the posts. This is my general community area right here. And then this is the classroom. These are Introduction to Runes and Introduction to Witchcraft for both free classes right now. They're just like little free classes you can go in and check out. And then there's the Holistic Apothecary, which is a paid subscription, $10 per month. It is a situation where if you want to learn how to build your own apothecary, and it has all the resources, it's just starting. I just started it, so there's tons of work to do. But it's going to have literally pages upon pages upon pages of holistic plant materials and what they do, how they work, how you use them, everything. Even links to buy them online, so that literally when you need an herb and you're like, okay, I want to make this, all you got to do is point, click, and find the resources, and you can buy them. And I will set up links so that you can buy good quality, herbs and things as inexpensively as possible. That's part of that service, is that you can just point and click and buy what you need to create your apothecary right there. Bang. Obviously, as you have the budget to afford things, you add to your things, and every recipe will have links to buy those resources so you can make the recipes. It also has links to tools you can buy on Amazon and things like that I found really useful, things that I personally bought myself that I thought were really good purchases. All of that kind of stuff that helps people to just find what they're looking for instead of having to search for the right thing. It just makes it all kind of really streamlined for you. But the Holistic Apothecary, my dream is to create an apothecary where I'm creating holistic medicines that do all types of different things and help people. And by going into this subscription, it's $10 a month, and it grows. So you pay $10, and that whole month this thing is growing as I add to it. And each month it continues to grow. So you're only gaining value every month. As you pay that $10 a month, you're just gaining value, for your own use, and have constant access to all of my resources. So that is one major part that I'm working on. I'm going to be doing more advanced classes for the runes and the witchcraft stuff, but right now I'm just working on introductions and free classes to get people kind of into it and see, feel things out, all of that. Anyway, so that's the classroom part. My calendar, I've been adding things like tonight's full moon is listed here. You can see, if I click on that, it shows the full buck moon. it just tells you when these things are going to be happening. I also have events, like every Sunday is self-promo day. If you have a school and you come into my school, and most people do have a school because you pay your subscription, you create your school, and you can go into other schools, right? So it's $9 a month. I mean, what's $9 a month? And you can access so many different things for free. And tons of people put a lot of free stuff out there. So it's like whole communities you can get into that don't cost anything extra. And then if you want to do classes and things that are advanced courses, then you pay those monthly fees separately for the individual giving the course. And that's how that works. So, but in my Sunday, on my Sundays, I let people self-promote on their schools on my school. So they can come into my school and tell about their school and share their links and yada yada. All that fun stuff. Right now, I have 27 active members. I'm still, kind of getting things going in here, and I'm sure doing these videos is going to help get people more active. I'm going to be also wanting to do some meet and greets where we all get together online at the same time and say hi and talk and get to know each other a little bit more in person, which would be great because I'm pretty isolated, and I just really would love to be able to communicate with people more freely, especially on these subjects that I love so much. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to be doing soon, if you notice up in the corner, I got a little picture of a book over here, the Treasury of Norse Mythology. I own this book. I have it over here next to me. You can't really see it on the screen too well. It kind of blanks out. But the point is just that it's going to be one of the books that I'll be reading. It talks about all of the Norse stories. I'm very excited to do that, to read you guys the stories, because they're really great and are full of all kinds of different lessons that you can take from them. And that's kind of what it's all about. When it comes to paganism, it's stories. It's lots and lots and lots of stories. And, there are innumerable stories that have been lost to time. But the ones we do have, we preserve, and we want to, share those stories. They're out there. You could buy the books if you want to read them yourself. But I feel like it's fun to do like a story time where I read to people, and I love reading. I love reading with accents and voices, and I'm very theatrical. I've always been like that. So it'd be fun for me, and hopefully fun for people who are listening to the stories and getting something out of it. And I'm bound to add my own little footnotes in there that I take from the story and things like that. But I think that this is going to be really fun for me to do, and I think that we're going to be able to, I'm going to be able to teach what I find is so intriguing and so incredible about all of the ancient stories and all of the ancient history. I'm big into archaeology. One of the things in my school, if you'll notice, there are lots of different categories here. They allow us to choose put things into categories. Like, say, for example, Pagan Wheel of the Year, that talks about all of the different things, like traditions, and the, Lammas is coming up August 1st. That's literally, what's today? The 29th. And that is in, let's look on my calendar over here. Calendar. So it falls on, Saturday, that's right. Saturday the 1st is Lammas. So Lammas is coming up, and that's, the wheat festival, the harvest. It's the space between summer solstice and fall equinox. And, it's about celebrating that first early fall harvest, more or less, that before fall harvest. And people like to make baked goods. They like to make corn dolls, things like that. Oops, put that back up. so I just wanted to kind of show you guys what this is all about, and some of my future ideas. And this is like I said, my first video. I am really, really excited about this. I think it's going to be so much fun. And I'm just kind of like excited to just kind of put myself out there, because for a long time I just work too much. I work every day. I'm too tired. I don't care. I don't want to go online and do this stuff. Like, I mean, I did anyway. I'd write endlessly. But I feel like it's going to be easier for me to just speak about these things and actually put myself into, people's eye, and become somebody that's more present in the community for this type of stuff. We need more people present in the community as teachers of this stuff, and as people who are experienced in witchcraft and experienced in runes and tarot and all of these things, and can put themselves out there and say, hey, I want to teach people this. I want them to know that it's an option. We have, the main three religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are the three main Abrahamic religions, and then you've got Hinduism and some of the other larger religions that are still, fairly recognized. But paganism and witchcraft and all of that is still kind of in the shadows. Not as much as it used to be. It's coming back, and it is coming back big. I think people are really, really feeling connection to the old ways and the spirituality of self-governance and autonomy. I mean, that's what it's really about. Paganism is big about autonomy. It's about choosing your own path and trusting yourself and trusting in the spiritual realm around you and believing in your own importance in that, and in fate, and in all of these different aspects. Paganism is a very wide and encompassing thing. You've got Norse mythology, you've got Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, Celtic mythology. You've got, and I say mythology, I don't even like that word, because to me it's like it undermines what it really is, which is lessons and stories and true, like, wisdom that's hidden in these many cultures. And I think that, when you can call one thing a religion but the other thing is mythology, it just kind of undermines it. And I don't think religion's the right word either. Faith, whatever. But I feel that there just needs to be more presence. There needs to be more people willing to come out and say, hey, this is what I do. This is what I believe in. This is what I practice. And this is how we connect with these things. And this is why we do it. And the why is a big part, because it feels real. It feels true to who we are. It says something to where you don't have to bend yourself to become something in order to fit into it. There's a lot of boxes in some of these other religions where you have to fit into that box, and if you don't fit into that box, you're seen as, you're not very that, are you? Like, there's a lot of judgment, and it's like, we're just people, man. Like, I'm a pagan because I feel that it gives me complete control and freedom over my own journey in life. That nobody's trying to force me to choose anything. I choose my path. I choose which gods to venerate. I choose how I do that, and I choose where, and all of that, and I feel more freedom than I've ever felt in my life whenever I followed those other belief systems. And one note about me: I have been Christian. I have been Muslim. I lived in Egypt for a time and studied Islam for 3 years. I mean, I wore hijab and everything, like the whole thing. I really got to immerse myself in that culture, and I learned a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, every single thing that I've done on my spiritual journey has been a learning experience I would not trade for anything, because it has taught me so much, and I see so much now that I never saw before, never even cared to see before. And now it's like a big open universe to me, and it's wonderful and exciting, and it fills me with so much wonder every day. So, but anyway, this video is getting a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. But thank you for watching. If you're interested in checking out my school, go to Skool.com, and it comes up under Understanding Paganism. That was the original name of my school, but you'll see it come up as the Pagan Theologian. I'm sure if you type it in either way, it'll pop up. And it's just $9 a month to join the school, and then my community is free, so you can be in part of the community. You can read all of my posts and all of that stuff. The only things I do monthly are the other courses. So check it out if you're interested. And also, I wanted to go ahead and plug my Facebook group, Odin's Ravens, Nature's Pagans, and Spirituality. This group has over 2,000 members now. It has been growing like crazy. It's very exciting. And it's full of people who are super interested in paganism. It's for all genres of paganism, not just Norse paganism, but that is a big focus. And you know, it kind of covers all of the different wide open areas of all of that stuff. And it's a learning center. There's lots of videos, and there's music, and there's art and articles, architecture, and archaeology, and everything, all kinds of stuff in that group to check out. There's also downloadable PDFs. There are guides. There are guilds, which are, you basically take a role on your name for a guild. Say if you're into smithing your own swords, or you're a crafter, or you're into fishing, or anything, like any of your interests. We have guilds for different interests and skills. So you become part of that guild, and you can connect with other people in that guild and make posts about it using like hashtags and stuff like that, you know, just to kind of keep those things organized. Anyway, okay, so see you later. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you, and I hope you come check out my school. See you later. Bye.